You know, we just met and you're asking me to do wow, wow, wow the microphone. Bruv, you not even bought me a drink. It's this guy. Wow, indeed. Hello, I'm Marcus Bronzy and we're here for another episode of What's in the Box. So today I'm going to be unboxing Icon. No, not unboxing a human being. In fact, we've already gone through the unboxing bit because I want to get right to this product. Icon, you're from somebody called Vochlea. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
right?
Vochlea. Yeah,
and we are going to be having a go on something called the Dubler 2.
Yes.
What is the Dubler 2?
So the Dubler 2 is a MIDI controller that allows you to play whatever instrument you want in your music making software. There are lots of common music making softwares on the market these days, Logic, Ableton, FL Studio being probably the three most common. The way Dubler 2 works is it's equivalent to plugging a keyboard into the computer, which is what producers used to usually play whatever sounds they want to play and record. But Dubler allows you to use your voice as the MIDI controller. So you sing a note, you get that note in your music making software. You beatbox drums, you can get MIDI drums, which is basically drum notation in your computer that you can assign whatever sound to. So you can play drums with your voice by beatboxing. You can sing instrument parts. This includes piano, guitar, any kinds of synths, effect. You can manipulate effects with your voice. You can play full chord progressions with your voice, which is helping a lot of people who don't have that much experience with music theory get started making music and then start improvising over that. A lot of musicians are also using it to be able to express their ideas and send them to other musicians or producers they're working with, and just starting that line of communication. Cool.
So you said a lot there, and some of it was quite music tech. Some of it I got, yeah. Some of it I didn't. But in essence, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a song just using this. Before we crack on, like, what was the idea behind this? Like, where did the whole idea for this come from?
So the founder of the company, George, it's a long story, of course, but he developed the idea during his time at the Abbey Road Institute, which is responsible for the development of a lot of pieces of great music technology coming out these days. I wouldn't be able to go through the whole story right now, but essentially the idea was always kind of breaking down some boundaries in music, allowing people who don't necessarily have experience with music theory, music production, or playing instruments to be able to just delve in and just start producing beats, producing full songs, just using the instrument that they've practiced since birth, is how we call it.
Their voice. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I mean, look, Michael Jackson is notoriously known for not having like classical music training, but he used to go into the studio, beatbox at somebody and be like, turn what is going on in my mouth into a song. So, you know, I'm not going to say I'm going to give you some MJ vibes here, but yeah, we're going to be making a song today. So one part of this is obviously the microphone, but the second part is also the software as well, right? So we're in your digital audio workstation, DAW. Some people know Ableton, Fruity Loops, like you said, Logic. This works with all of them, right?
Yes, it works with every single DAW,
And this is the plugin that we're looking at on the screen now that they should be seeing.
So it's not actually a plugin, it has its own software.
It's its own software,
a separate software, so my DAW would be here, and then software is here, and you kind of go between them. But what it's doing is, while you have the software open, anything you sing into the microphone, exactly, you can see it's signal there. It's sending a signal to your DAW, so you can select it here.
So it's sending a signal to your DAW.
So you can see it appears here. You can just select it in your DAW to receive the signal from it, and those signals will include like drums or notes or full chords or effects that you manipulate with the microphone. But we'll get into that slowly. But yeah, so this is the software. It has lots of different pages, and as we make the track, we'll actually like go through a couple of the different features as well.
Well, let's crack on with it, bro. Let's make a beat using a microphone and a piece of software.
So the first part is triggers. So the triggers, you train sounds. This could be a clap, this could be boot, chap, cat, different syllables of your voice. This could be hitting the boots and cats, basically. This could be hitting the table, snaps, whatever you want, and that triggers MIDI notes. So what a MIDI note is in music making software, it's where the drums live. For example, on one note you have a kick drum, boom boom. On another note you'll have your snare, and then you'll have snaps and hi-hats and stuff on other notes. These are spread across notes, and what you're doing in this triggers section is mapping a real world sound to just launch one of those notes. So this allows people to beatbox full drum parts, essentially. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna have you train a kick sound and a snare sound, basically. So what sound do you think you'd use for kick? Exactly. That's perfect type of sound to do. So what you do is you just train it by recording the take, and you just do that sound 12 times, basically. Go for it.
Do you want, sorry. You want me to do it 12? So you want me to do it 12 times in a row? Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to switch to the drum instrument so that you hear that a little bit better.
So I did that. So I'm doing that 12. So I need to get my headphones on. Sorry, we got. There we go.
So now, now that you've trained that sound, you can try it again now.
Oh. Okay,
so you have your kick there.
That's
so that's one sound though. So you wouldn't be able to do much with one sound maybe. But let's add your snare now as well. So this is our snare sound loaded up in Ableton. And now, what sound could you do a snare with maybe? Maybe try a more like maybe like a cha kind of sound. Yeah.
Cha, yeah, okay.
So we'll train that. Okay. So now you can do both of them. So maybe go between the two now. Okay, keep that rhythm in mind. That sounds great.
Alright, cool.
So I have this hi-hat groove now, basically. So we're starting with just the hi-hats.
So just starting with the hi-hats now.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna. So we have these hi-hats ready, going, and I want you to jam out a kick snare. I'm hitting record.
So just the snare, right?
Kick and the snare, both.
All right, cool. That's my practice, right?
We're practicing it. Okay, so at the beginning you were going well.
I went
so
off
you're
beat.
now we can so you get this information. This is called MIDI information, basically when you record the note information into your music making software. So I could just easily like zoom into these and kind of just drag these to the one, for example.
This might be where I have a random bit of knowledge in the form of a word. Is this like quantization?
Yes, this is quantization.
Okay. Basically,
so I could just
what that is I'm off beat. And we're fixing that right now. This is totally to do with me and nothing to do with the microphone and the doubler setup.
So if I hit quantize, for example, it'll lock stuff to the grid. So, and it won't get it right 100%, but you can.
But the main thing is I've started to throw down the idea with my voice instead of me having to, because that's a lot easier for me to do than having to learn how to use a keyboard or a drum pad or something like that. So, all right, cool.
Exactly.
I like that bit, to be fair.
So yeah, we have a cool, interesting drum pattern going here.
Yeah.
So what you do is, I'm just going to loop this in Ableton.
Cool.
Just to separate this side from the rest of it, because this is the loop kind
That's
of.
That's the bit that we want before it went too ropey.
So I can just duplicate that basically, very simply. So really interesting groove we got here actually. So this is one of the advantages of like using your voice instead of playing something with an instrument or like pushing it with the buttons.
Yeah, man.
You end up with some results that you normally wouldn't have thought of because you're doing it in the moment with the full feel of your voice, essentially, you know?
And obviously like if I make an organic mistake, like it can also sound nice sometimes, right? If you throw something in. All right, cool.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go look at the more harder.
Now we're gonna go hard.
Now we're gonna go harder and have you sing a little bit. So you're gonna sing a bass line for us, basically. So the way how this can work is basically the idea with Dubler is to just because we're doing again like one of the advantages of using your voice, you have no limit to the amount of ideas you can come up with. You're not limited by your musical knowledge or hand habits or anything. You just sing a bunch of ideas, and just like what we did with the drums, we'll take a moment of it that we like and loop that. So you have to not be shy at all and just bust out as many ideas as you can.
Properly sing.
Yeah. So I'll go back to the application for a sec. And that's the pitch side of Dubler. So I'm turning off the triggers for now.
So this is all in one page. Oh, you've turned it off so this is all in one page then, right?
Yeah, this is all one page.
Fascinating. All right.
The triggers, when we were training the kick and the snare, this was in the triggers training page, but you only get those when you start to train the sounds. Okay. So I shut the triggers side off. Now we're in the pitch side of the program. We'll get into like maybe what these things are also in a bit, but here you have the pitch wheel. So this is where you're helping people that don't know music theory that well, because you're locked to a key. No matter what note you sing, you're going to be singing a correct note that belongs in the key of the tune you're working in, basically.
That is very good to hear.
So, try singing, for example, quickly. So it's better. It works best when you sing like with a nice transient sound, like ba ba da da.
Ba 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 ba. Okay, cool.
Tiny bit of yeah.
Cool.
When you talk, it does all that kind
cool.
of stuff too. So yeah. So now, just like you were doing now, I'm gonna keep this beat on loop. Basically, I'm just gonna duplicate it a long time, and then we're gonna have you singing, and then you're just gonna sing a bass line, and we'll see if we can come up with a moment.
I'm not easily embarrassed, but I feel like I'm about to embarrass myself.
Let's go for it.
Okay, cool. Bam, bam. Sorry. All right. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Right. There might be something in there. There might not be.
Especially. So what you have to do is, so right now you can see while you were singing, sometimes when you're moving between notes, you're getting. So you get these kind of little things called ghost notes. So we can clean this up automatically, but actually we have a plug-in companion that comes with the software that kind of cleans those up for you automatically. Like, if we have time, we can also get into that. But I really think you had something going here with the... So we can just the quantize thing again. We can kind of fix the timing. So I'm just gonna... So first I'm gonna take everything out.
You made it a bit lower. Okay, I like that. Sounds a bit more bassy.
So then maybe I can move this note. And that's one.
I like that.
From
yeah, we'll take that.
So. And then we can manipulate that sound maybe.
Okay, we're getting there.
So we're getting.
Can we see? Look at me now. I'm trying to.
Is there
a note in there that we can? There's one in there that I wasn't happy with. I think that F1 it sounds a little bit off key for me. Maybe just the timing of it. It just sounds a little bit off key. Can we move it left or right a little bit, please? See, this is what happens, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's a different one, yeah.
Do you like it? Yeah, okay.
Give me that space.
All right, yeah.
We can also shorten the notes as well.
Okay.
I like it. One short and then one long, for example.
I like that. Okay.
I like maybe just to change it up a bit more. Yeah, okay. There we go. So we have a loop there, basically. But like this was one idea, maybe, and then I can let's check out maybe another one of your ideas that you recorded. Maybe there was something.
Maybe.
Oh, those were.
Yeah, that's my giggle right there. Yeah, I think.
So I'm gonna lower these again by an octave. So what I'm doing is, so we sang it at a higher octave. So I'm making it do do do.
Okay.
Second note comes a bit fast. That comes a bit early.
And what's interesting at this point is like everything that I've sung, even though I was singing like my notes all over the place, it's brought it all into that chord you're saying, so you're less likely to sound out of...
So you know that the notes are actually right, so it becomes more about fixing the timing, experimenting with the rhythms a little bit. I'm just gonna drag this to the start here. That comes a bit late, sorry. Another idea, just...
Okay, alright.
So that's a second bass line we have now. So we have our first section here was sounding okay for one. Yeah, this is definitely like more groovy.
Okay.
So that's the pitch function. What we
Right.
did now basically is where you're singing individual notes. But now the third function we can check out is basically the chords function, where you're singing. This is something people have trouble with. Oh, what chords am I going to use basically? And chords are like groups of 4 or 5 notes. So sometimes when you don't have that much experience, you don't necessarily have the information needed to like get those going now. But Dubler has a chords tab where you already have the correct chords for the scale you're working in, and it just helps you get that information into your music making software as well.
Okay.
So how this works is, I'm just going to put on a pad sound quickly. With the chords on, try singing just one note, like so you see you're getting like a whole group
like
of notes.
a whole group of notes, even though I'm just doing one note.
Exactly. So that's you create a chord progression is basically a group of these. So you're creating the bass line is also kind of dictating what the chord progression is. But if we can find 1 or 2 chords that work over the bass line, then we can use that at some point in the production as well.
Okay,
for example.
cool.
So I'm just gonna again do what I did. I'm just gonna have this. I'm just gonna have that looping. Let's see if we can find one chord progression that works. And you can use this as kind of a map, a guide for you, so you can see what chords you've already played and stuff. So as it's looping, we're just looking for 1 or 2 chords that work with the track.
Basically, I messed this up. I've only got to get 1 chord in here. Ba, ba, ba.
Nailed it.
Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, that was cool, right?
Come on.
So with those 2, we have our chord progression.
Yeah. So just looking at the screen here, you can see I was only singing 1 note, but it's popped in like the 4 or 5 notes that are in
Exactly.
each of these
So
chords.
this is an F minor chord and this is an A sharp major chord. Those are just so each chord has each scale of music or each key has 7 chords in it, and this just allows you to find different combinations of them really quickly and start manipulating. You could also add different notes, change the notes, but what's important is just getting this information down on the computer right away.
Cool.
So you found some 2 great chords there actually. So if you just
nice.
So then what you do with some more, you do some more production stuff. So one common thing in production is messing with this thing called the filter cutoff, and this is what DJs do a lot. You know, they take away the lows and then they bring them back. So in like we're trying kind of doing a garage beat right now. So if I mess with the filter cutoff, I could do some
kind of hit. Okay, nice.
So you can actually do this with your voice as well. So this is another. Tell me if we've gone over.
No, man. Let's keep going, bro. Okay. Let's keep going.
So what I was doing with the mouse just now is just messing with a parameter inside the music making software, but Dubler allows you to use your voice to mess with whatever parameters you want. So we have this really cool.
So one second, just get this right. So not only am I just playing notes, now you're saying I can like mess with the effects on the notes just using my voice.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So what we're gonna do right now though is messing with the effect after you've already recorded. So a big goal of these effects parameters is to like mess with the effects as you're laying down the part, but you've already laid down the chords here. So I'm gonna just go back, shut off all the notes. Sorry. And basically this end knob basically allows you to control an effect with the loudness of your voice. So I want you to do what I was just doing with the mouse.
Well, you were just moving it up and down, but I'm doing that with my voice.
Exactly. You can sing whatever you want now because the note doesn't matter, but the loudness of your voice is what's going to affect. So you set that up with something called MIDI mapping. I'm just clicking that once, clicking that.
It's a little bit more advanced but still it's a few clicks.
This is definitely more advanced.
Okay.
So now if you sing something.
Okay, so we'll have to zoom in out a little bit of the screen. So as I'm being louder, you can see that it's messing up. Okay, cool.
So what you're gonna do now is basically you're gonna do like a wow kind of pattern basically, and it'll manipulate the pad. So let's do it in solo.
You know, we just met and you're asking me to do wow the microphone. Bro, you not even bought me a drink. It's this guy.
I knew that was coming.
Wow, indeed.
So in solo now.
Wow. And so it's not. So it's just the distance of the microphone from my mouth and the volume level.
No. So the distance is an easier way to control it, kind of. But like, if you want to what you're singing, so you can sing ba boo ba boo da boo kind of stuff. That'll also keep like changing its volume.
All right.
Essentially. So let's try to do that with the track going. I'm gonna again loop it and record what we're doing. So this is called recording automation in music software, and when you're recording the manipulation of an effect.
Okay. I'll do some bat doos and some wow wows then.
Yeah.
Wow 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 bat doo bat doo.
So it's set to 2. So I'm gonna lower how low it can get, just so we can.
Okay. Wow 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 bat doo. But wow 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 wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. All right. So really.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm
getting
my head around this.
It takes
I'm getting my head around this.
This is, by the way,
so this is like. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say this definitely. It has a learning curve. It takes practice. It responds differently to people's voice. So normally you definitely have to like sit down for like a good couple sessions with it, and then you really start to understand how it responds to your voice. Like definitely.
Yeah. So if I just shout, so was that okay? Is that okay? Is that enough to see enough, or should we go again?
Yeah.
I
just wanted to show like. So what you did basically, well, you created this curve of information basically. So it's called automation curve. And if we follow it, so what I could do is I could copy paste that
where I was actually
automation
doing a bit more,
Yeah. And I can mess with it a bit.
Make it a little bit more pronounced or less pronounced, I guess.
So I could even speed up what you did, for example. So you did this over the course of 4 bars. This is basically, I could make it so that all happens in 1 bar. So it's just an alternative way of recording effects and stuff, just using the characteristics of your voice. So we did it using this env knob, but you can also map the e, oo of your voice to different effects as well. But basically, yeah, so what we've done is we've laid down the kick and snare by beatboxing. You've laid down a couple ideas for bass lines, and you've laid out a chord progression and some effects with it. So all the ingredients kind of have to start a track or get your idea basically communicated, essentially.
And we've done that all in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's including me messing around. So like, and the fact, I think what's most interesting for me is the fact that this is much less kit than if you were to have like even a little drum machine or a little mini keyboard and stuff. You literally need this microphone, and we've just got this laptop here and a pair of headphones.
You do need music making software though. I mean,
cool. So you need all right, so let's get this right then. So you need like a music making software like, you know, Ableton, or you've used Ableton today, right?
Yeah.
Ableton, you need this software and then a microphone, and you can crack on a laptop.
Yeah. You can also use your own mic. You don't necessarily need our microphone, so we're selling software only now. That's one of the biggest updates that came with Dubler 2 compared to 1. If anyone has like a dynamic microphone, which is like even like the simplest SM58s and stuff, they can use the software with it.
I did notice that we're plugged into Rodecaster 2 at the moment, and it can something like that, a desk with multiple inputs for a collaborative project, be used with the same software as well. So if somebody speaks into one of the microphones that's on this desk, could that be used if we had the right kind of
because that appears as an audio device in the DAW, right? As long as you plug in a dynamic mic, you can use it.
Okay, so if so a lot of people already have a microphone, so maybe you can start off with that, and then but this is a decent mic. It feels like a quite solid.
It's a nice mic, It's not designed for like a high quality audio voice recording though.
Yeah, but it's more for use of this. All right, cool. Right, okay, now I can taste the comments right now. Yeah. All right, Marcus, that beats shit. Right? All right, Marcus, that beats all right. Can you show us an example of something maybe that you've made using this kit that we can listen to any genres, anything like that that you've had a bit of fun with? Because obviously this is my first time using this, and I've had lots of fun, and I think this is something that I could get into. But could you show us an example of something else?
I'll show you something quickly. The way I use it a lot is so there's going to be a lot of stuff here. So
oh wow, you didn't do? Is that what I think it is, bro? Sorry,
the track, you know it.
That. Yeah, because it's one of my favorite songs of all time, man. He's one of my favorite producers.
Same. Those are the sounds I use actually from recreating. I'll show you.
Sorry, it's all about Wookiees, one of my favorite producers. Yeah, man.
Yeah, what a guy.
X-Men. So you trying to tell me you've remade?
Oh no, this is a bit more personal promotion
all right.
than me, but I just write for a series called The Breakdown on a great magazine called Attack Magazine, and that series is just about trying to explain to people the notes and the parts and like how they kind of put a track together, what they're using. So it sounds a bit naff, but the goal is just to explain and show the notes that are using. So this is just doing the synth, this thing. That's what the vocal does.
Okay.
You recognize it?
Yeah, of course. And
the piano is the back vocals notes, basically. You have all the notes here, right?
The bass line sounds really close.
It does close. That's the closest one I got, I feel like. Everything else sounds a bit playtime, but
yeah. Okay.
And the keys sound good too. Super important, his keys, like. Secret hero of the groove, actually, hiding there in the back.
Okay. Yeah, man.
And then the beginning, you have that first drop there.
That sounds close, man.
That sounds closer.
Listen, we're gonna have to go UKG raving, bruv.
And that's the like kind of cheesy intro.
Yeah.
Kind of
Insert. No, I'm not gonna do that. Right, cool, bruv. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, thanks. I just saw that. I'm glad that I picked up on that. Sorry, Wookie. Listen. Nothing's gonna be better than yours. Original, but that was a very good
track. Yeah.
Cool.
Cheers, man. So we're working on a new YouTube video currently called Improvising Melodies with Dubler 2. It'll probably release this week. And one of the melodies I really liked, one of the melodies I found by just singing into the mic. And this is kind of the melody that came out. So if you watch our YouTube video, you'll be able to see how I actually like sang that melody slowly and then just kind of fixed it up a little bit. And just this, I play some instruments, I play a little bit of keys, I play a little bass, but this, I feel like this melody specifically, this like synth one, I wouldn't have been able to maybe come up with it if I wasn't using Dubler and using like my voice and like just jumping around, figuring out different notes. So this is the basic melody. I used this other stuff as the backing track, this bass line. This was kind of some pre-prepared audio. But even if you just use it for this, you have like a bass. Lots of people get stuck with melodies. You know, they lay down beats, they lay down a bass line, they have some percussion, but then nothing melodic comes on top. You know, but like if you want to really explore melodies and come up with lead parts, and even you can just send this to a singer afterwards and be like, look, I have this MIDI file. This is an idea. Roll with it. Write something similar. And
do you know they say sometimes like when you're trying to get an idea out, it's best to just try and write it down on a bit of paper. I feel like this is like a great place to sketch ideas, but then once you have them down, you have all the bits and bobs that you need to kind of turn it into something.
Exactly.
Because I think me sitting in front of like a keyboard now or a drum machine, I'd probably still be intimidated like by that. So by reducing like the barriers, that kind of makes me more interested in doing something like this.
Exactly. And again, really, really good for communicating ideas to others. If you're working with collaborators, maybe you're not the person who's going to lay down the melody, but you're like, look, I have this idea. I jammed out a couple of things. You can even see the notes, basically. Do what you want with it. Use it, don't use it. Maybe,
nice. All right, wicked.
Essentially.
All right, man. Well, look, I just want to say thank you very much for sending this over to me. We'll make sure we put links to this in the description.
Thank you.
Can we hear our production again just one more time?
Yeah, I'll go back to it.
A little UKG thing that we did. All right, a little bit rough around the edges, but I'll take that. I'll take that for my first production. Yeah, using the Dubler 2. Yeah, I like it, man. So, I guess one question for me is always like with new things, products like this, like who do you think would benefit from this the most?
So there's the most, I'm thinking, people who are just starting to produce music and they don't necessarily play an instrument, or they don't necessarily have a lot of music production experience. I think it's that, like, I really want to make music, but I don't have that much theoretical knowledge. I don't play an instrument. I don't have that much experience, but I have a lot of ideas in my head. That's kind of the ideal person that we're trying to reach. I feel like.
All right, sweet, man. Well, yeah, thank you very much. I want to have a few more goes on this.
Yeah,
I want to have a mess around with this and make a few more things. But yeah, man, I hope wish you all the best for this, man.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for having us again. Yeah.
Well, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And hey, who knows? I might be making the beats that we're using in our unboxing videos moving forward. Till next time.